I've been playing Sea of Thieves since launch, and like most games, the player base can be split into two categories. You've got your PvE players who try to keep to themselves while they explore, complete voyages, and solve tall tales. Your PvP players, on the other hand, they always want to fight. They're constantly looking for ships that they hope are full of loot, so that they can sink them and steal from them.
Don't you love it, Maddie? Once you shed blood and dole out cruelty, it's all to stop. Ah, it's a pirate's life, my lad.
It's a high-risk, high-reward game, and sometimes that leads to newer, especially PvE-focused players getting frustrated because veteran pirates just chase them down and take their loot. There's always been contention online about what's the right way to play. Should they split the player base so that the PvEers can stay safe and the PvPers just fight each other? In my opinion, you need a mixture of both to make a game like this work. The point of this video isn't to tell you which way to play. Instead, I want to show you how you can PvE safer and more efficiently in a PvP world.
Dinghy ahoy. Dinghy off the port bow! Dinghy off the port bow! Dinghy off the port bow!
One of the most important parts of Sea of Thieves is to keep track of other ships at all times. Make sure you note the type of ships on your server and whether they're NPCs or not. You can lower your profile slightly by turning off your upper deck lanterns. It's not going to make you invisible, but it can help you not stand out at night. Here's what that looks like. Here's an example of a ship with no awareness. The sloop is doing a quest on Thieves Haven and forgets to check for other ships. I timed it and we sailed directly towards this sloop for about 4 minutes, which is more than enough time for it to position itself to either fight us or turn and run. But because they weren't even paying attention, we're able to pull up right beside them and sink them with a gunpowder barrel before they even react.
It's okay to take your blindfolds off.
Do not take your blindfolds off. Do not.
Take your damn blindfold off!
So here's how you can avoid situations like that. I pick up a quest from an outpost and sail to my destination, and along the way I noticed a brig was anchored at an island close by. When I arrive at the island, I check to make sure that that brig is still anchored, and I begin my quest. Whether you're fighting skeletons, exploring caves, or just gathering supplies, there's a lot of potential distractions on islands. I have to remind myself every few minutes to keep checking on that brig. And because I keep tabs on all the ships around me, I'm able to stay safe and complete my quest. Now, a majority of the time, if people want to attack you, they're going to get in their boat and sail right at you. But that's not always the case. Some pirates aren't going to be as straightforward in their attack. Thankfully, there are a few signs that pirates are trying to sneak up to you without a boat. Mermaids serve as a way to get back to your boat when you're far away from it. An important thing to remember is that you can see other players' mermaids too. Spotting an enemy mermaid should be a red alert to you and your crew to get back to your boat and check for enemies. Along with mermaids, check for sharks. Sharks spawn and attack players who have been in the water for too long. If you've been on land, but there's a shark in the water, don't assume it's a glitch.
Big one, take us behind those rocks.
Moving behind the rocks!
Keep going. You're good. You're good. You're good. And stop. Don't worry, Captain. We'll buff out those scratches.
Where you position your ship while questing can make a big difference when you find yourself under attack. Here's 3 guidelines I try to follow. Number 1, do not drop your anchor. Number 2, park as close to the objective as you can. And number 3, once there, face your ship away from the island. So let's break those down. Number 1, do not drop your anchor. Learn how to stop and go by using your sails. Try to pretend your anchor doesn't exist. It takes a lot of getting used to get the timing right, and I still ram into islands way more than I'd like to admit. If you do have to drop your anchor, raise your sails and your anchor immediately after. When to start slowing down kinda depends on the type of ship that you're on, but a good reminder is that when the name of the island pops up on your screen, it's probably a good time to start raising the sails. Number 2, park close. Parking close to your objective means that you'll be able to get to your boat in a hurry if there's trouble, and you'll be in a better position to keep an eye on things in general. In this example, because my objectives are mostly on the southwest side of the island, that's where I'm going to park. Remember that you can run on land a lot faster than you can swim in the water. Number 3, turn your ship away from the island. After you've positioned yourself as close to your objective as possible and your anchor is raised, face your ship away from the island so that you have a quick getaway, and you won't have to waste time getting unwedged from something. You can just drop your sails and go. And don't forget to use rowboats or harpoons to speed up the looting process. Your positioning when under attack is important too. You can follow every step in this video, but there's still going to be times when ships catch you off guard. Your first instinct when running away may be to sail with the wind. The problem is that if you're sailing with the wind, the ship chasing you is too. Brigs and galleons are faster than sloops when their sails are turned with the wind, but are slower than sloops when their sails are turned into the wind. If you're being chased, knowing the environment around you could help you escape. If you aren't confident in your ability to fight, look around for fog, storms, or rocks. Fog and storms can disorient your pursuer and give you time to change direction. Rocks can be used in the same way to juke opponents and create distance. Sometimes, it seems like no matter what you do, some people just won't give up the chase. In these cases, it's time to take the fight to them. Here's an example from a recent stream of mine. If you're sailing into the wind and a ship is following directly behind you, jump off your boat and try to board them. If you make it aboard, go directly for the anchor and cause as much chaos as you can. Once you get more confident, try this with gunpowder barrels that you stack in your crow's nest. That's another thing. Do not store barrels under your deck. Crow's nest only. Did you hear something?
No, don't think so.
What you say? That you only.
Earlier I mentioned that you can see enemy mermaids and sharks. Well, you can hear them too. In fact, there are a lot of audio cues that can help you know that danger is near. Here's what some of them sound like. Getting familiar with these sounds will help give you an advantage when pirates try to sneak aboard. In my opinion, the best place to test out your skills is skeleton forts. They're pretty highly contested, so you'll have to be aware of other ships. You get to practice positioning your boat while under the added stress of cannon fire, and you have to listen for cues that enemy pirates are nearby. If you like this video, feel free to check out our stream on Mixer, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this.